Hey, hey, hey! Welcome to Level Up English, your bridge to real English. I'm Nora.
And I'm Leo. Let's go.
Okay, so I need to tell you something that happened at work last week. We had this meeting with a new client from Brazil. Her name's Camila, and her English isn't perfect. She made grammar mistakes, paused a few times to find words. But Leo, she owned that meeting. By the end, everyone was nodding. She got the deal.
Wait, she made mistakes and still got the deal?
Yeah. And then later that day, I had a call with another guy, Thomas, whose English was technically way better. Bigger vocabulary, fewer mistakes. But he was so careful, so slow, so worried about getting everything right. And honestly, I zoned out after 3 minutes.
That doesn't surprise me at all. I see this with my clients too. I have this client, Diego. He's been in the US for like 8 months. His English is maybe B1, but this guy talks to everyone at the gym. Front desk, other trainers, random people between sets. He just goes for it. And then I have another client who's been here for 3 years, watches English shows every night, knows way more vocabulary, and barely says a word to anyone.
And that is today's episode. Because the difference between those two people isn't talent. It's not intelligence. It's not even how many years they've studied. It's what they do when they open their mouth. Great English speakers aren't smarter. They just do a few things differently. And today, we're going to tell you exactly what those things are.
And some of these might surprise you, because a lot of what makes someone sound good in English has nothing to do with grammar.
Let's start with the one that changed everything for me when I was learning Portuguese. And it sounds obvious, but almost nobody does it. Great speakers think in chunks, not in single words.
What do you mean by chunks?
So, when I first started learning Portuguese, I would build sentences word by word. I, then want, then to go, then to the, then store. 5 separate pieces. By the time I got to store, I'd already forgotten how I started.
I've been there. Spanish class in high school, assembling sentences like IKEA furniture.
But then my teacher told me, stop thinking in words. Think in phrases. Don't think, I want to go to the. Think, I want to go to the store as one thing. One chunk, and suddenly I was faster, not because I learned new words, because I stopped assembling and started grabbing ready-made pieces. Right. And this is what great English speakers do. They don't think, I am going to. They grab, I'm gonna as one piece. By the way, one piece. To be honest, one piece. As far as I know, one piece. Their brain has a library of chunks, and they just connect them.
I actually think this explains something I noticed with Diego, my client at the gym. He uses the same phrases a lot. Like, he says, the thing is, before almost everything. The thing is, I don't like leg day. The thing is, my wife wants to go out tonight. And it works. It gives his brain a second to think while his mouth is already moving.
That's actually the second thing great speakers do. They use filler phrases. And I don't mean and I mean phrases like, the thing is, I mean, you know what? How do I say this? Basically, well, the way I see it. These aren't mistakes, they're tools. They buy you time while your brain catches up.
I don't know if I'd call all of those tools though. I have a friend who says, you know, every other sentence. I went to the store, you know, and they didn't have it, you know, so I had to go somewhere else, you know. That's not a tool, that's a verbal tick.
Okay, fair. There's a difference between using filler strategically and just leaking you know everywhere. But intermediate learners think any pause or filler means they're failing, and that's not true. The key is use them to bridge, not to stall.
The thing is, before a point, smart. You know 17 times, not smart.
Agreed. Okay, third thing. And this one, Leo, I think you'll disagree with me on.
Try me.
Great speakers focus on communication over accuracy. They care more about being understood than being correct. If they can't think of the exact word, they describe it. They go around it. You know that thing you use to open bottles, I don't know the word, the metal thing? And the other person says, a bottle opener. And they go, yes. Conversation continues. Nothing broke.
I agree in conversation, but I think it depends. If you're writing an email to your boss, accuracy matters. And I've seen people develop bad habits because they never bother learning the actual word. They just describe everything forever.
Actually, wait. fair point. I'm not saying don't learn vocabulary. I'm saying don't let a missing word stop you. In the moment, describe it and keep going. After the conversation, look it up.
In the moment, keep going. After, learn the word. Yeah, I can get behind that.
Right, because here's what I see. People who wait until their English is perfect before they start speaking, they never start. That's what happened with Thomas for my meeting. His English was technically great, but he was so focused on being perfect that he lost all his personality. Camila made mistakes, but she was herself, and that's what connected with people.
You know what this reminds me of? My first year as a trainer, I had this client, Lucia, from Colombia. She'd been in Chicago for 20 years. Her English was full of mistakes, but this woman could command a room. She'd walk in and go, "Leo, today I feel strong. Give me the hard one." Nobody cared about her grammar. They cared about her energy.
See, and that's the fourth thing, confidence. And I don't mean the empty, just be confident advice. I mean, great speakers commit to what they're saying. They don't whisper, they don't trail off, they don't go, "I think maybe possibly it could be that." They say it and keep going.
Volume is a big one, actually. Learners who feel insecure get quieter. They mumble. Then people say, "Sorry, what?" And that kills their confidence even more. It's a loop. But if you just project your voice, even with mistakes, people understand you because they can actually hear you.
And this connects back to something, remember the chunks we talked about earlier? The cool thing is, when you have a chunk ready, you say it with more confidence because you're not building it live. As far as I know, comes out smooth because it's one piece. You're not thinking as far as I know, you're delivering it. And delivery is confidence.
Oh, that's a good connection. Chunks give you speed, speed gives you confidence, confidence makes you sound fluent. It's a whole chain reaction.
And you know what? I should be honest here. When I was starting to get comfortable with Portuguese, the thing that actually helped the most wasn't a course or a book. It was my friend Julia in Sao Paulo. We'd video call every Thursday, and she had this rule. She'd only correct me if she literally couldn't understand what I was saying. Otherwise, she just let me talk. In that environment where making mistakes was okay, that's where I got fluent. Not studying, talking in a safe space.
And that is something we should build for you guys too. Because a lot of our listeners have told us, I read the comments. They say, "I understand everything on the podcast, but I have nobody to practice with." And the 30-day challenge and From Stuck to Fluent was actually designed for that. Real speaking situations, real practice, built so you can do it alone or with a partner.
If that sounds like you, links in the pinned comment. People who've gone through it keep telling us the speaking exercises are the part that changed things for them.
Anyway, back to what we were talking about. There's one more thing great speakers do that I think is the most underrated.
Hit me.
They listen, like actually listen, not just wait for their turn to talk. Great speakers in any language, they respond to what the other person actually said, not what they rehearsed in their head. And for English learners, that's scary because it means you can't plan your next sentence while the other person is talking.
Oh, I'm so guilty of this. When I was learning Portuguese, someone would be talking and I'd be in my head going, okay, when they stop, I'm going to say, "Eu também gosto de..." Wait, is it gosto or gusto? And then they finish and I have no idea what they said.
Every learner does that. But great speakers let go of the need to prepare. They trust that when the other person stops, something will come out. It might not be perfect, but it'll be a real response to what was actually said.
And honestly, sometimes the best response is the shortest one. Oh wow, really? No way. That makes sense. You don't need a full paragraph. A real reaction to what they said is worth more than a grammatically perfect speech about something else.
Yeah, I take an honest, "Whoa, really?" over a rehearsed, "That is very interesting." I believe that is a very important topic, any day.
The second one sounds like a robot at a dinner party.
Okay, everything we talked about comes down to 5 shifts. Not rules, shifts.
1. Think in chunks, not individual words. I'm gonna, the thing is, as far as I know.
2. Use filler phrases to bridge your thoughts. I mean, basically, how do I say this? They're tools, not weakness.
3. Don't know a word? Describe it and keep going.
4. Commit. Speak up, finish your sentences. Confidence isn't about being perfect.
5. actually listen. A real, "Oh, wow, really?" beats a perfect sentence about the wrong topic.
None of these require a bigger vocabulary. None of these require better grammar. They're all about how you use what you already have.
And that's the secret. Great speakers aren't smarter. They just stopped waiting to be ready and started talking.
Comment challenge. We want to know, which of the 5 shifts is the hardest for you? And which one are you going to try first? Like, number 4 is the hardest for me. I always get quiet when I'm nervous, but I'm going to try speaking louder this week. Be specific.
And if you tried any of these and it worked, tell us. We love those stories.
If this episode helped you, subscribe. Hit that bell.
Like and share, especially with someone who thinks they need to be perfect before they can speak.
Because they don't. Nobody does.
All right, go talk to someone in English today. Make mistakes. Describe stuff you don't know the word for. Speak up and see what happens.
See you in the next one. Keep leveling up.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.